Welcome back. Today we're looking at 4-6 rational exponents. So before we talk about rational exponents, we have to understand what the word rational means. So rational means in the form of a fraction. So notice in our exponent here we have a fraction. We use the variables p and r. I just use them to remind us that the power goes on top and the root goes on bottom. So anytime we have a rational exponent, we have a combination of a power and a root. So let's just go ahead and see how this works out. So it's asking us to rewrite as a rational exponent. So notice we have a root here, that's the 8th root, and we have a power here, that's the 7th power. So this one as a rational exponent would be the same variable b. Our power would be 7 and our root would be 8. So those both go in the exponent. Alright, so the next part is asking us to simplify. It's asking us to do 256 to the 1/4. So let's convert this to a power and a root, just so it's a little bit easier for us to figure out what's going on here. So we have the 4th root, right? The bottom is the root. And we have a power of 1. So we don't really need to put an exponent of 1 because we never need to put an exponent of 1. If there's something there, then it has the exponent of 1. Unless we have a different power on there. So we're going to take the 4th root of 256. So that would be 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. 64 times 4 is 256. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, right? The 4th root, this is 256. Okay, and then on to part B. We're looking at 27 to the 2/3, so the bottom is the root. The top is the power. So it's usually easier if you can do the root first and then do the power next. So let's do 27 cubed first, and then we'll raise it to the 2nd power. All right, so the cube root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So we have 3 to the 2nd power, which is 9. Okay, for the next couple of examples, we're dealing with negative exponents. The thing to remember with negative exponents is negative exponents mean to reciprocate, right? Reciprocate. So what that's telling us to do is rewrite this as the reciprocal. So I'm going to do the reciprocal of 1/4 is 4. I no longer need the negative sign, but my exponent stays at 3/2. So we're going to do, we said it's, oops, we don't need to put the 2 there. We're going to do the square root first, and then we're going to raise it to the power of 3. It just keeps our numbers a little bit smaller. So the square root of 4 is 2. 2 to the 3rd is going to give us 8. Okay, same thing with part D. We're going to write this as the reciprocal. And then we're going to keep our exponent 3/4. Now, 10 doesn't have a 4th root, so we're just going to rewrite this as 1/10 4th root cubed. I think that'll be okay. All right, part E. So we're going to use the properties of exponents in this section. The product rules, the quotient rules, and then the power rule. So anytime we're multiplying numbers of the same base with exponents, what we're going to do is we're going to add exponents. So this is actually w to the 1/4 plus 2/3. Now, unfortunately, they don't have the same denominator, so we're going to have to convert these. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on top and bottom here, and 4 on top and bottom here. So we have the denominator 12. So this is going to be w to the 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And then 2 times 4 is 8. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Now we have common denominators. So we can add these all up, and then we're going to get w to the 3 plus 8 is 11 twelfths. Okay, similarly, we're going to do our quotient rule here. So when we are dividing numbers with the same base with exponents, we're going to subtract our exponents. So we're going to do x to the 3/7 minus 3/4. Again, we're going to have to multiply. Our common denominator would be 28, so I'm multiplying by 7 on the left side and by 4 on the right side. So this is going to be x to the 12/28 minus 21/28, which is x to the negative 9/28. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to accept this as an answer. If not, then we're just going to have to use that property where we said anytime we have a negative, we're going to reciprocate. So that's going to be 1 over x to the 9/28. So try this one first. If it doesn't work out, then write it as a reciprocal. Okay, and then the very last one, w to the 2/9 cubed. So remember, anytime we have a power raised to another power, what we're going to do is we're multiplying. So we have w to the 2/9 times 3. Some of us like it if we change the 3 to a fraction, which is fine. And we're multiplying top, top, and bottom, bottom. So we have 2 times 3 is 6. 9 times 1 is 9. And because we can reduce 6/9, we're going to do that. They're both divisible by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And we're done. Alright, so pretty quick, pretty straightforward. Just remember always that anytime you have a rational exponent, that means we have a fraction in our exponent. The top represents our power, the bottom represents our root. If we get anything funky, remember that the negative sign means to reciprocate in the exponent, and you should be good. Just practice those power, quotient, and product rules. Good job.